Not only am I going to share 5 reasons for why bookkeeping is important, I'm also going to share how I found my client $40,000 after organizing her books. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, my name is Christian Brooks. I am the owner of Brooks Bookkeeping and Accounting Services, where I aim to empower and educate women of color, entrepreneurs, and business owners on their business finances and taxes. I've been doing accounting work for about 10 years now, and I've found that topics like business finances and taxes can be very intimidating and overwhelming for people. So my goal is to break these topics down so that they can be more digestible, approachable, and understandable. So if you are interested, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you would like to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into the video. Reason number 5, it makes filing your taxes a lot easier and more accurate. If you've been doing your bookkeeping throughout the year, you know how much money you've earned, your revenue, and how much money you've spent, your expenses. Two numbers that are extremely important for your tax return. You're not scrambling at the last minute to try to figure this out. And your expenses are going to be extremely important. When you have been doing bookkeeping throughout the year, it helps you to maximize your tax write-offs because your business expenses are tax deductible, which means you can write your business expenses off on your tax return in order to lower your taxable income, which in turn lowers your tax liability. But then also, your tax professional will love you if you've been doing bookkeeping throughout the year. If you've not been doing bookkeeping throughout the year, then your tax professional has to do backup bookkeeping in order to file your return accurately. And typically, they'll charge you a lot of money for it. You get charged for a year's worth of bookkeeping and you'll get charged for the tax return. So make your tax professional happy and do bookkeeping throughout the year and save some money. Reason number 4, bookkeeping is extremely important for making strategic business decisions. Let's say you decide that it would benefit the business greatly if you spent more money on advertising. Maybe you want to get more traffic to your website. Maybe you want more people to see your product, to get more views. If you don't know how much money you are currently spending on advertising, you don't know how much to increase the budget by. Also, let's say there's another area of your business where you don't need to spend as much money as you're currently spending. You'll be able to funnel that money over to the advertising budget. However, you won't know either of those numbers if you're not doing bookkeeping. Reason number 3, bookkeeping is important because it helps you to understand if your business is profitable and it helps you with price setting. A lot of new business owners and entrepreneurs will get fixated on the revenue that they're bringing in without tracking the expenses that are going out of the door. So they don't actually know how much profit that they're bringing in or if their business is profitable. I have had clients that were bringing in a large amount of revenue. However, once I organized their books, I found that their business actually wasn't profitable because they had very high expenses. Now, we were able to fix this issue by decreasing the expenses that we could and also increasing their prices. However, we would not have been able to do that if we did not do their basic bookkeeping. Now, this brings me to my next point. Bookkeeping helps you with price setting. Now, the goal is to make a profit. However, you want to at least break even, but you can't break even if you don't know how much money you are spending on business expenses. That includes your operating expenses, so your overhead. How much are you paying for rent? How much are you paying for utilities if you are renting a space? How much are you paying for website maintenance? Things of that sort. But then you also have your cost of goods sold. How much do you have to pay in order to produce the product? Or your cost of services. How much do you have to pay in order to provide your services? And then you also have your other expenses, which will be typically non traditional expenses. But you need to calculate all of that so that you can figure out what is the minimum price that you need to set to at least recoup your money. You're not going to be able to do that if you're not tracking your expenses, and you track your expenses through bookkeeping. Reason number two. Bookkeeping is very important for tracking your accounts receivable and tracking your accounts payable. So, are you being paid and are you paying your bills? Let's start with the accounts payable. It can be very easy to forget to pay your bills, especially nowadays with everything online. We're not really getting paper notices anymore. Sometimes things fall by the wayside, sometimes things slip your mind. However, if you're doing bookkeeping, then you'll be able to look at your monthly financial statements and see if a bill has been skipped. So, if you have a $50 electric bill and this month you see that that $50 isn't there, then you'll know that you may have forgotten to pay your bill. Also, sometimes our bills increase. So if last month your bill was $50, this month you see it's $100, you'll be able to go and inquire about why. Now, accounts receivable. Your accounts receivable are your invoices. Are people paying you? If you're not doing proper bookkeeping, then you're not keeping track of if people are actually paying your invoices. I have a great example. I had a client. I was helping her to organize her books. Once I organized her books, I found $12,000 worth of unpaid invoices. Now, it's great that she was actually sending the invoices out. However, she was not keeping track of if people were paying the invoices or not because she had so much revenue coming in. At some point, it gets overwhelming if you don't have a proper system in place to track revenue. So we were able to find those folks who didn't pay their invoices. We were able to get her paid once we organized her books. But it's really important to do your books to make sure that you are paying your bills and people are paying you. If you have any questions or there's a topic that you would like for me to cover pertaining to bookkeeping and entrepreneurship or bookkeeping and small business ownership, leave a comment below. You can visit me at my website at christiannbrooks.com/bookkeeping. I'll also leave a link to my website in the description box below. The number one reason why bookkeeping is important is so that you can secure the bag properly. The reason that you started your business is so that you can bring in money. It's really important to do bookkeeping so that you know how much money that you made, so you know how much money you can pay yourself. I mean, you deserve it. You worked hard for it, right? Story time. I had a client once who started up a successful consulting firm. However, she was not doing any bookkeeping. When she brought me in to do her bookkeeping, I had to clean and organize her books. When I organized her books, I found that she had made $40,000 more than what she thought she made. So at the end of the year, she was able to pay herself a hefty bonus because she worked for it and she deserved it. So the number one reason to do bookkeeping is so that you can secure the bag and pay yourself what you deserve. I hope you enjoyed this video on 5 reasons why bookkeeping is important. If you find yourself stuck on any bookkeeping issues or you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'll leave my information in the description box below. See you next time.